Yo, what's up with you guys? It's your boy Yaahn Hunter Jr. Check it out. We're going to learn how to mix live drums in Studio 1.5. We're going to be featuring stock plugins only. So let's get right into this thing. All right, guys. So I have some drums here. Let's listen to how they sound dry. Excellent. So we're going to be working with that today. So I'm just going to pan the drums. We're going to do drummer's perspective. So from the drummer's left to the right. So tom 1 is going to be panned all the way to the left. Tom 2 somewhat to the left. Tom 3 kind of to the right. Tom 4, let's do like 60, 59, something like that. Then let's do Tom 5 all the way to the right. I got 5 toms, 2 floor toms, and 3 racks. All right, the next thing we're going to do is let's start with this kick drum and let's start tweaking it. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a compressor. So I'm going to click the plus sign, or if you want to do the Studio One way, you can just drag and drop a plugin right on the channel itself. So let's reach for a compressor, just a standard compressor. Now I can drag the compressor over on the channel strip, or I can put it on the region. Either way, it's going to dial up the compressor for me. And I just want this kick drum to be a lot punchier. So let's just dial this in. Yeah. Nice. Let's do a little bit of a makeup on this because we took the volume down. So let's bring up the makeup. This is off. And let's turn it back on. So it's really starting to make that transient come to the front, which I really like, and we can compress it just a little bit more. That's good for me. And then let's just bring the makeup up a little bit more. Perfect. And the next thing I want to add is a little bit of a gate to it, and I'm going to put it into the expanding format. And when I say expanding, it's not going to be harsh. It's going to be really smooth, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So something like that, where it basically just ducks down the excess stuff or the bleed from the other drums. So it just can focus on that kick. Cool. So we got the gate and the compressor. Now let's add some EQ, and I like to use the Pro EQ. It's really nice. And all I'm going to do on this EQ is get rid of some mud. So let's go into the low mid. Let's dial that in, which is going to be our yellow. Let's get rid of some of that poofiness. Then I want to show some love to the bottom end. So let's show a little bit of love down here. Nothing too crazy. Show a little love. So then let's get rid of all the unnecessary stuff. All that junk. Get it nice and clean. Yeah. Then let's add some top end to the kick. So let's go to our high frequency. Cool. Then we can add some of the high mid as well. So it really puts that beater right in front of your face. And this is my style of EQ and just my approach to the drums. Good, so we're getting somewhere. And then let's pan these hi-hats and then let's pan the overheads left and right. Cool. So now let's go into the snare. Let's mess with this. What's really dope about Studio One is you can just copy and paste a plugin by just dragging it over. So just click and drag it over and boom, there's our gate. So let's solo the snare. Let's work with this. I like that amount because I want those diddles and all that stuff in there. So I want to maintain that color. So next, we're just going to copy and paste the compression over and we're going to tweak that. I like how it's really getting punchy. And bringing those diddles up. Excellent. Now let's get this Pro EQ over here. Cool. And then let's restore this back to default. And let's start EQing the snare. So I'm gonna get rid of the stuff that we don't need by doing a low cut, hitting this little red icon. Excellent. Then I'm gonna take this low frequency and beef up the bottom end of the snare. Just a little bit of love. Do some subtractive EQ right there. And then let's bump up the high end on the snare to make it crispy. That's it. Cool. Let's listen to let's listen to the kick and the snare. Yeah. So we're getting somewhere with that. I like that a lot. The next thing we're going to do is apply the gate to the snare bottom. And the compression on the snare bottom is going to be different. But let's get into the gate first, and then we'll get into the compression. Hey, guys, if you're getting value out of this video, feel free to give your boy a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on those bell notifications. So let's mess with this gate. That's pretty solid to me. The next thing we're going to add is this compressor. Now, I mentioned earlier we're going to compress this differently. We're going to squash this because I only want the resonance of the bottom snare, and I want the attack to come from the top snare. So we're going to come down, way down on the attack on the bottom snare. So something like that. And let's listen to both of the snare, both snare top and bottom. And that's pretty much the snare that I that I hear when I play live. It sounds just like that. All right, let's listen to where we are. Cool. And then we can add a little bit of EQ to that bottom snare. And let's kind of come down on that. On the high end, it doesn't have to be as drastic. And let's see how that sounds. Yeah. I like that. Let's move on to the toms. You guys can check out my drum channel strips volume 1 for Studio 1.5 and for 4 users. And it's basically a drum template that has all of this done for you and more. Link in the description for that. Let's work on these toms. Let's start with some compression. So I'll just bring the compressor over from the kick. And let's start messing with this. Yeah, I like how punchy that is. Let's find another hit. Yeah, really nice. So we'll work with that amount of compression. That works out really good. Then let's add some EQ to this. So we're gonna use a Pro EQ. So just drag and drop that over. And let's give ourselves a clean slate. And let's get rid of all the junk. Your mid frequency is what's gonna give you the most issues. All that. It's gonna give you issues. So let's just come down on those. Then cool, let's grab the next band, the low mid frequency. That's where all the boxiness is. Yeah, so it's starting to get really clean. Nice and clean. And then we'll just show the low end a little bit of love. Not much. It's about like right here where it's resonating. And then we can do a little bit of a low cut to get rid of the unnecessary stuff. Nice. And then let's grab some of the top end and make it a little bit crispy. And I like the crispiness on the top. I really like that a lot. So we'll grab some of the high end. And let's close up this Q a little bit on the high mid frequency. Yeah, that sounds really good to me. And then let's go ahead and let's put an expander on that. Let's put this first in the chain. And let's check this out. Cool. Let's get more of an attack on it. Really nice. Really nice. And we can have a little bit more of a release on that. Cool. And let's copy and paste that setting by just hitting copy from this tom. And then let's hit paste. And of course the panning is going to change, but we're going to get all the channel strips. Cool. And let's move this over to more to kind of to the left. And let's also paste that over on the tom 3. And this is going to be panned more so over to the right a little bit. Let's listen to those so far. So let's just listen to tom 1, 2, and 3, the rack toms, and make adjustments. Nice. Nice and punchy. Let's listen to tom 2. Beautiful. And let's listen to tom 3 now. This is the third rack tom. Cool. Let's copy the settings from Tom 3 over to Tom 4. And let's listen to what Tom 4 sounds like. Not bad at all, like that. And then let's go and let's paste that over to Tom 5. Cool. And let's get to the expander on Tom 5 and let's kind of lighten up on this one. Nice. Then we're going to switch up the EQ on this one because it's a floor tom, so we're going to need more of that low end. So we got that now. Let's go ahead and let's lighten up on the low cut. Let's bring that back some because we got a lot more low end on that. Yeah. Huge difference. Let's listen to everything. Let's see how it's all working out for us. Excellent. Let's bring that tom down. Sounding really good so far, guys. Let's get to this hi-hat. Now, typically what I like to do for the hi-hat is just compress and EQ it. Very simple. All right, so let's go ahead and let's drag a compressor over. So I kind of smashed the hi-hats a little bit, but not much because I want those higher notes to kind of get squashed a little bit. And then I want those lower velocity notes to kind of come up. So messing with that attack time, got it at about 25.7 milliseconds. And it's kind of just locking in that groove. So the next thing I'm going to do is add another Pro EQ. And all we're going to do with the EQ is just roll off that low end. And that's pretty decent. Then let's check out these overheads. All right, guys, so we're going to do some bussing. Very easy to do in Studio One. And all you're going to do is start from the desired track. So the overhead left, we're going to hit shift and hold it. And then we're going to click and we have the overheads highlighted. Now, what's dope about Studio One is you can just right click on them all and hit add bus for selected channels. Super dope. So now we have all of the overheads on one channel and I'm going to name that overheads. So now if I solo this, we have just the overheads. And all I'm going to do with the overheads is do the same similar process with the hi-hat. So we're just going to grab a compressor. Put that over here and let's check this compression. That's a decent amount of compression. And we're going to grab the EQ, Pro EQ again, to just make this easy for this tutorial. And then same drill here, just roll off some of that low end. Yeah, it's about right. So let's listen to the full kit. Really clean sounding. So the only thing left for this is honestly just adding some reverb, and then the rest is preference. And even with how I did the overheads, that's a preference thing. So let's add some reverb. So I'm going to get the mix verb, and all you got to do is just drag and drop it to the snare sends area. Boom. Now I like a short sounding verb, especially for a faster tempo song like this. So we're gonna get rid of the pre-delay, and let's get rid of some of this dampening to make the reverb a little bit more brighter. And then let's listen to how this sounds. And then we're gonna control the sends right here where it says mix verb. So the send level. Really nice. I like that a lot. So we're going to name this drum verb. And so I can send all the toms through there. Now, the easiest way to get all the toms in the reverb is to, one, you can create a bus. So let's just do that. So do like we did last time. Select and grab all of these. And then you're going to right click and then add bus for selected channels. And this is my normal workflow anyway. And I'll name this bus toms. So we have our toms bus. And so now we can just grab the drum verb and boom, put it on the toms. And then we can adjust the levels. All right, guys. So here's before. All right, guys, and here's after. Crazy. So that's pretty much how you can mix drums in Studio One 5. I hope you guys got some value out of this. Hey, if you did, go ahead, smash that like button for your boy, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hey, turn on those bell notifications so you won't miss out on nothing. That's it from me. Peace.